Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Toubou Black community.
Here we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
I found a video online of a concerned South African man on a construction site owned by a Chinese company. He was saying that these Chinese people only hire illegal immigrants with no contract, by the way, to exploit their labor services. In this video we are about to watch, this man says it is unfair that they come to our land, start their businesses, do their projects on our land, but refuse to hire the locals. They even run out small, medium enterprises owned by South African businessmen in the area. They hire only foreigners to exploit their cheap labor services. They can't even speak the conversational English, and worst of all, they are disrespectful to the locals. Check out this video and let us come back and have a short discussion about what the labor law says about hiring undocumented foreigners in South Africa.
China buyer, already construction companies. Okay, and foreigners, only foreigners. Labor failure. They don't want SMMEs. We as business people are not business here. We don't have business here. You understand? We don't have business. What was China? What I want to do English. So what are home affairs again? Because we can't just South Africans for it. But what they come from China, they do the projects in our land. We don't have American people. We can't.
What does the employment and labor law say about hiring foreign workers in South Africa while the locals dwell in the unbearable high unemployment rate? What is the government actually saying about this? These Chinese people and foreign businessmen are disrespectful, to say the least, and they undermine the constitution of South Africa. But I do not blame them, because the ANC has made provisions for them to come and do as they please. I mean, the ANC also does not care about the constitution of South Africa because it hinders them from fully benefiting from these foreign businesses or these foreigners' businesses and construction companies and projects or whatever. A new law was introduced last year that restricts employers from employing foreign nationals in South Africa if the foreign national does not have a work visa. While the South African business landscape thrives on diversity under the Immigration Act, employers are prohibited from hiring a foreigner unless they possess a valid working visa or a valid work permit. Additionally, the Employment Service Act mandates that employers must first ensure that no suitable South African citizen or permanent resident is available to fill the position before considering a foreign worker, which this law has literally been violated by foreign businessmen. These laws aim to balance South Africa's need for skilled labor with the protection of local workers. Employers who hire foreign nationals without valid work visas may face hefty fines or even imprisonment. Non-compliance with these regulations can result in severe penalties, including fines up to 10,000 rands. I know some companies like to excuse this unlawful behavior by saying South Africans aren't skilled enough for the job. There is a scarcity of skills around the area. They're trying to develop a project, but do they have the paperwork to prove it? Do they have resumes and recorded interviews of South African candidates that lack these supposed skills that they so desperately need? How many qualified engineers and skilled construction workers that are South Africans are just sitting at home? There seems to be this conundrum where South Africans want to be paid their worth, which is reasonable, and these foreign businessmen want to save and make as much money as possible. And their solution is illegal African immigrants who are willing to work for nickels and pennies just so they can say they are in South Africa, the land of milk and honey, not knowing they are part of a huge problem, or they are a huge contributor to the high unemployment rate amongst South Africans. They are damaging our economy with their cheap labor, and they are pushing us in further. They're pushing us further down below the poverty line. So the Department of Home Affairs need to close down that construction project owned by these Chinese people who can't even speak English. I mean, how did they manage to get the correct documents to come in our country, establish their companies, bypass our laws, disrespect us and our land without knowing conversational English? I mean, some corruption activities really expose themselves. How did they get the correct documentation to set up their projects and businesses, or even come here without knowing the conversational English? Some corruption literally revealed themselves. They exposed themselves. So the Department of Home Affairs really need to do their due diligence and go after every foreign-owned business in South Africa and vet these businesses. Make sure they're up to speed with SARS, with their taxes. Make sure that 90% of their employees are South Africans. This will actually balance the scale of unemployment. This will actually improve the unemployment rate in South Africa and improve the economical state of South Africa. And the youth will be empowered, and this depression that is hovering above our heads will literally evaporate. It will literally evaporate away. But no, this shows that the ANC government for 30 years have been benefiting from these foreign businesses, from these corrupt foreign businesses, and they do not care about us. As long as their pockets are full and they are enriching themselves, really, to hell with the rest of the citizens. This is the type of the government that has been ruling South Africa for 30 years, and we still queue in line to go vote for that government. I am glad that nowadays the government of national unity is working together to expose the injustices that has been done to the South African citizens. And this mass deportation, as much as I do not agree with it, or the methods that have been used, I don't sometimes agree with it, but it is very necessary in order to uplift the youth of South Africa and at least try to balance or manage the scale of unemployment in South Africa. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel. My name is Reneilwe Morema. It has been an absolute pleasure.